Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the Produce Buzzers podcast. We are so happy you have joined us today, and I think you will be too after the show is over, because you will learn a lot about fresh fruits and vegetables, how to select and store them, how to prepare and cook them, and surprising facts about their history and origin. We hope it inspires you to eat more fresh fruits and vegetables, not only for your health, but also for your delight and pleasure as you explore their amazing world of taste and delicious flavors. Eating more of them will transform your life in so many positive ways. So settle back, relax, and get ready for another delicious adventure with the Produce Buzzers. Greetings, Produce Buzzers podcast fans, and welcome to another delicious episode of the Produce Buzzers podcast. I'm Edwin Stepp, your host and editor of ProduceBuzz.com. I'm joined once again by Teresa Nolan, the founder and president of Produce Buzz, along with Rick Stepp and Cynthia Benedetto, both contributing editors to Produce Buzz. Now, we have a very interesting program today, one that kind of deviates from where we normally are. We haven't yet had an episode that featured packaged products that you see in the fruit and vegetable aisles. But that doesn't mean we think there aren't any good ones in the produce aisle. Pre-cut, prepared, and pre-packaged fresh fruits and veggies have gained a lot of popularity with consumers over the past decade, and for good reason. With our lives becoming busier and busier, these products can save a lot of time on getting the evening meal on the family table. This week, we have a guest who is going to tell us about some fantastic and delicious treats that can really spice up your meals with hardly taking any of your valuable time. Today, we welcome Tara Murray, Vice President of Marketing for Fresh Innovations and the Yo Quiero brand based in Texas. The name of the company and the brand are spot on because they are truly creating some very innovative products that will make us all say, Yo Quiero, when we see them. They specialize in all kinds of avocado dips, but they have also created some other delicious dips, bean dips, cheese dips, and queso dips, sauces, and many more combinations that will truly spice up your plate. I visited their booth at a recent fresh produce trade show and sampled many of their products. They were so good. I kept coming back for more. I took more than my fair share of the samples. She is going to tell us all about them in a few minutes. But first, a little bit about Tara. Tara has spent most all her career in the food business. Most of that was in grocery and retail business. But she also spent 3 years with an Applebee's franchise. There she was on the new restaurant training team and helped open new restaurants around the country. She started her guacamole career in 2007 with what is now the category leader in guacamole, the Holy Guacamole brand. She helped grow that brand, and when the company sold in 2011, she stayed on another 4 years until she retired in 2015. She became a middle school teacher in that retirement and taught from 2015 to 2020. But her colleagues that founded Holy Guacamole started Fresh Innovations, and they couldn't do without her. So they brought Tara back to help them expand the brand, the Yo Quiero brand, which we're going to hear a lot about today. She is thrilled to be back in the industry and work again with those same great group of people. Tara, welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. Wow, that was a fabulous introduction. Thank you so much.
Well,
kind of made me tired, though. I was like, damn, yeah, I have been around a while.
I'm guessing that the most difficult job you ever had was the middle school job.
Yeah, and every year it got a little bit more challenging, but I love the kids. At the time that I got in, both of my daughters were in middle school, 8th grade and 7th grade. And I knew all their friends, and it was an absolute blast. It was a ton of fun. And honestly, when the guys here at Fresh Innovations and Yo Quiero called me back, it was a little bit of a tough decision, but I was, because I knew I'd really miss the kids. And I still do, but I'm so glad to be back in this industry again. I literally bleed guacamole, hence my little guacamole necklace, and anything avocado. Yeah. Oh yeah. I sport it pretty often.
Right.
But no, I'm really, really glad to be back in the industry.
And we are glad you're back as well. So I gave a little bit of your background, but I'd like to hear a little bit more. Tell us more about your background, where you grew up, and how you got into this business.
Well, I grew up in Austin, graduated from the University of Texas, and we have a really big football game this Saturday.
Oh yeah,
yeah. And my first, not my first job, but I kind of one of my first jobs was Tom Thumb. So I grew up like you had mentioned in retail. And with that, I was a front end manager, had to write the front end schedule by hand. For those in the grocery industry know what a bear that used to be.
Let me just interrupt just a second, because I know a lot of our listeners will know, in Texas will know Tom Thumb, but Tom Thumb is a grocery chain in the Texas area. Do they get outside of Texas, or is it just?
They don't. Well, it's part of the Albertsons group now. So so here we have Tom Thumbs, but it's a banner underneath the Albertsons brand.
Right, got it. Anyway, sorry to interrupt, but I wanted to.
No, that's okay. That's okay. Yeah. And so I was there for 10 years, and really that was kind of where I grew up work-wise. Ran the front end, and then moved into our district office and actually trained the various managers within the stores as well. So very familiar with the produce side, the meat side, and pretty much anything to do with the retail aspect. And then my husband and I got married, and we moved to Lexington, Kentucky. And there I got into the food service business with the Applebee's. So when we moved back, and I applied for the position at the other company that we mentioned at the beginning, at the time, and just like we do now, there's a food service side and there's a retail side. So my experience working back at the house in both, and understanding how both industries work, what the retailers and restaurant people are looking for, as well as consumers, it was just a really great fit, because I could speak the language, talk the talk. And again, being on the consumer side, of course, be able to come in with that perspective as well. And my degree's in psychology with a minor in business. So that's the marketing and getting it in people's heads.
There you go.
I know I don't know if it says anything about me, but my favorite class was abnormal psychology. So,
abnormal. Well, you might be able to help us out. Are you still practicing? Can you give us, the three of us, some help?
I think you guys are doing amazing. So,
yeah.
But so it was as we grew the brand for the first guacamole group, it was so much fun. We were Don Bowden, who started the company, was a real innovator, because he actually created the guacamole for use in his restaurants, and how he could expand the life of that guacamole in his restaurants. And he worked with and actually brought the high pressure technology to the United States, and that is now a regular thing that manufactured or processed guacamole companies use. I mean, it's a staple. You don't process guacamole without this anymore. Yeah. So he was such an amazing innovator, and he has recently passed within the last year. And he was the one that also, after we all kind of retired in our own right, he and the group now that we work with, started this, and same type of deal. We have a beautiful facility with high pressure technology, and the majority of our products we put through that technology for, food safety. There's no additives, no preservatives, no heat. So it maintains the freshness and the good qualities of the fresh produce that goes in these items.
So the pressure, does that sanitize it somehow? How does that work to make it safer?
Well, what we do is everything that we have on our avocado side is all hand scooped. So we hand scooped, we lightly mix with our other fresh vegetables and spices, and then it's packaged and vacuum sealed. Okay. And then it goes through our high pressure machine. And what it does is it goes through in vats, and that pressure is high. It's water pressure technology. So it's isometric pressure that goes around every container. And it's so, they talk about it like, the pressure at the bottom of the ocean. I mean, it has that much pressure to it. And what that does, if there is any type of strain, bacteria item that would have somehow gotten into the avocado product, it pulverizes it and just, makes it vanish within the container. So they get put into a vessel, so to speak. And I think each vessel holds maybe 100 containers. I used to know that number a little better. And so when it gets put into the high pressure machine, it's water. So the water surrounds all of it. And then each container gets that same amount of pressure around it to potentially polarize. And not saying that the product has any type of microbial inside, it's just if there was some.
Yeah.
Because we take all kinds of precautions with our scoopers and our mixers. It's a very clean facility. But if there is something that gets in there, that high pressure pulverizes it. And then so when it comes out the other side, we know that it's absolutely as clean as it can possibly be, without heat, without chemicals. And so it's a very, very clean item. So when it comes out, it's about every cycle is about 2.5 to 3 minutes long, because it's just room temperature water. The water does recycle through. And so it's a very sustainable process as well, because we have the water, we filter it out, and then it just comes back into those machines, and we utilize that over and over again.
Wow.
But that high pressure, eliminates any type of microbial item that could be in that guacamole or avocado product. And then when it comes out, they dry it off, they put a label on it, and it ships.
That's amazing. I didn't realize that was done in the package. Is that the same thing as cold pressed juices? Is that the same technology, or is it different?
No, I believe it's a little different for the juices, because you have to watch what you pressurize and what the content is. You have to watch the viscosity. It has to be, you really have to, have a good viscosity. It has to not have much headroom to the top. So there is some real technical aspects when it comes to high pressure technology and what you can and can't do.
Right.
We are so proud of what we created. I mean, we really, really are. There was nothing in that category when we started Holy Guacamole. There wasn't a brand, there wasn't anything. And I started there in 2007, and that was right at the infancy of the brand. And from that point, I mean, it has skyrocketed. And literally the guacamole category, because of Don Bowden and because of the start of Holy Guacamole, is now a $600 million plus category with multiple players. When we started, we were the only game in town.
Right.
And so, when we started Yo Quiero, we knew that we had created this beautiful green monster that was out there, with a big category with lots of players. So when we developed Yo Quiero, we knew we couldn't just come in with just a guacamole. I mean, our guacamole is absolutely delicious.
It is.
With the hand scoop, we use only Hass avocados. It's fabulous, and we knew that would be tough to do again. So what we decided to do was instead, continue to make avocado and guacamole products, because that's what we do and that's what we love and that's what we know. Really make what we now call our dip destination. So we created the salsa, we created a queso, we created a bean dip, and we created an avocado cream cheese that is to die for.
Yeah, I tried
we
that.
have a corn dip, an elote dip. We have escabeche. So what we decided to do is not go deep in the guacamole, but go wide in the dip category.
Right.
So for retailers who have multiple suppliers for multiple things that they have in their departments, if they want a good guacamole, salsa, queso, bean dip, etc., they make one phone call to Jay, or they make one phone call to us, and they like, hey, we really, we love these items, and we do everything in our power to keep our ingredient label as clean as it can possibly be. Vine ripened tomatoes, the queso, with really good cheeses. But that's our goal, is to have these better for you items and to keep people off the chip aisle. Our bean dip is phenomenal. It's made with authentic Mexican bio beans and our tomatilla salsa. And so instead of getting that peely can off the chip aisle, go to the produce section and get like a real bean dip with real veggies in it.
Yeah.
And so that's so again, when we started Yo Quiero, we knew we had, of course, big green shoes to fill, and we're like, well, let's not fill them. Let's expand our shoe category, our closet of shoes, and let's really build on that. So with that, we are also we're utilizing avocado and really working on innovative ways to bring in avocado, because avocado growth and consumption year over year continues to climb. What the Hass Avocado Board, what was it last year? I think the average consumer was at 8.5 pounds. I think next year we're supposed to top like 11 pounds per person.
Wow.
I mean, the trajectory is still skyrocketing, and so we're very fortunate to still be, our major product line is the guacamole fresh avocado product.
Right.
Um,
And you have
but
some fantastic variations. When I saw that avocado cream cheese dip, I thought, oh boy, that can't be very good. And then I tasted it, I went, whoa, this is excellent. And
yeah,
then I got to say, your regular guacamole. I'm very, very picky about my guacamole. I make my own. I have my own
mhm.
recipe, and there's very few others that I like. But I was blown away by how good that was, especially packaged, but it was
Thank
really
you.
good.
Yeah. Again, and we have, again, it's all hand scooped. It's lightly mixed. We want to have those big chunks of
Yeah,
avocado in there.
that's the
There's
important.
other brands where it's in a squeeze thing. I'm like, no,
Oh,
how do you call that
terrible.
guacamole? That's
Right.
not. And they have guacamole real big across the label. And I'm like, no,
Yeah, you
to
need
me,
those. Yeah,
you want the chunks, you want it to stay on your chip. You want a big mouth feel full of avocado as you're taking a
right.
bite.
Yep, that's important for me. I love that finish with
Yes.
just the avocado. You get
Yeah.
everything around it, and then if you finish with a chunk of avocado, it's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For
that's
sure.
fantastic.
For sure.
Well, that's
So
amazing about the consumption continuing to rise.
Mhm.
When we represented the California Avocado Commission, I was on the East Coast. I had the Northeast region to do marketing and merchandising to the retailers to try to get them to bring in avocados. And this was in the 90s, early 90s. And these huge retailers, some of them were only buying like one pallet of avocados for their entire chain.
Mhm.
And Teresa and her expertise and Cynthia's expertise really helped expand that in the 90s. And it's real, I just continued to grow. But anyway, that's great to hear. So,
Yeah. Well, also too, you got to think, the MUFAs, or the monounsaturated fatty acids in an avocado, weren't truly discovered or really marketed until the late 90s going into the 2000s. Avocados at that time, in the 80s and 90s, were not considered healthy because of the fat.
right.
But once more studies were done, and really the Haas Avocado Board was a huge driver of this, was no, these are good fats, so then the word MUFA and that acronym came out. But at the time, I mean, I remember at that time, you didn't eat an avocado because it was too fattening, because that was when they, like Snackwells came out, and instead of, they took all the fat out of stuff and loaded it with sugar,
Right.
hello.
Which is the worst thing.
In hindsight, it's funny to think about that. But
yeah,
I mean, avocados really had a bad rap until the late 90s going into the 2000s.
right. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. You've probably seen that that little cartoon drawing with the two avocados are like a man and a wife, and the wife is running away in tears. The avocado is running away. She's crying. And the husband, avocado, is chasing after her and said, I said you were the good kind of fat.
Oh, yeah. Exactly. And now, now where our consumption is going, it's a lot of the younger generation, because it's beyond guacamole. The proliferation of avocado toast has also skyrocketed.
Yeah.
And that to me is just funny. You go to a restaurant now for breakfast and you spend $15-16 on a piece of toast with avocado. And I'm like, oh my goodness. But I think that those trends, those young people, they see that, and that again just keeps up with the avocado and the good fats.
Right. Well, you've told us a lot already about your products. I want to learn more about them and hear some of the others. But I know that, so you must be marketing to people who want avocado toast. And I know you have a package of just pure avocado, right? There's nothing else with it. Is that the product you target with them mostly, or do you have another one that's more tailored to a breakfast meal?
Well, that one, you're kind of teeing me up here.
Okay, good. Hope not teeing you off.
I will actually, I will actually kind of break this news to you, and actually I have some packaging. So
we got breaking news on the Produce Buzzers podcast.
Do you have like a sounder? But at PMA, we're going to launch a brand new product. And it is, again, our name, Fresh Innovations, that's really what we continue to focus on. And so how can we take something familiar and make it convenient and make it delicious? So It's avocado and egg. What it is we have taken our mashed avocado, added hard-boiled egg, chopped hard-boiled egg.
Oh, wow.
Added everything bagel seasoning in our little mini cups.
Oh,
and to where all you do is open and spread it on a piece of toast.
That is fantastic.
You think that you've had something good at SEPC and NEPC. Wait until you try this.
I'm ready for it.
It is absolutely phenomenal because we use fresh hard-boiled eggs with our fresh mashed avocado. Add in the everything bagel seasoning, barely mix it up so you have a great blend of the hard-boiled egg bites and the avocado with the seasoning. And it is absolutely phenomenal. And with the craze of breakfast toast, with adding protein to your breakfast, you know, avocados have fiber, they have potassium, and then you add in the 9 amino acids that are in eggs. I mean, eggs, they dang near call them the perfect food because of the 9 essential amino acids that are in eggs.
Right.
And we put it into a mini that you open it up, and it takes 1 mini for 1 piece of toast, or if you want to separate that out to 2, but it's going to be in a 4-pack. This is my prototype package.
Wow.
That we're going to have at the show.
Wow, so you heard it here first, Produce Buzzers.
You totally teed me up.
You heard it here first.
But
That's exciting.
It's insanely exciting.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's one of those things that, you know, again, after what we've created to really take avocado and take what's trending and give it a little twist. This is going to be so delicious. We have the everything bagel seasoning flavor.
Yeah,
we're going to have a crushed red pepper, which is going to be delicious. It's a little spicy. And then we have a veggie one that's going to have the egg, avocado, spinach, onion, and tomato. So it's like a little mini omelet in a cup.
There you go. Oh, wow.
Oh,
Can't wait to see that.
So good. I'm so like, I'm bursting at the seams ready to share and just shout this from the rooftops. We've been working on this for probably a year and a half, and we are just so excited. So excited to launch it and to have everybody taste it at the show.
Yeah, absolutely. I love your passion.
Could you explain what the seasoning is?
Everything bagel seasoning. So it has garlic, salt, pepper, sesame seeds.
It has everything.
Yeah,
you tell me you don't know what an everything bagel is.
I've never heard of it.
Oh my gosh, that's what you get for living in the middle of the country, way up north.
They don't have everything stuff in Minnesota.
Well, they may have, but
cold?
I don't eat bagels, so it must be something recent.
They've been around for a while, but yeah, I'm not surprised.
Never had a bagel, or you just?
No, I used to eat them a lot, but this is probably within the past 10 years, I'm guessing that this came
negative.
around.
No.
Yeah.
My child's 26, and then way before that.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well.
So it's a delicious spice blend that actually started on an everything bagel. And then those everything bagels were so popular that, then that became, you go down your spice aisle, and McCormick's and everybody has them. Trader Joe's has a really delicious one. It's huge.
Yeah.
But that's what's here. It's garlic, salt, pepper, sesame,
Poppy.
Onion.
And
Dried
poppy,
onion.
right?
Yeah, poppy and onion. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right.
Okay.
That's my favorite bagel for sure.
Yeah, it's mine too. And then
Yeah.
you put this, and then you toast it and put this on it. Oh,
Yeah. Right.
so
Can't wait to see that.
good. So good.
I love your passion, and I saw that from Jay too at the show, and that's one reason that the products are fantastic. But I love the passion as well. And there was another man with him there, Clyde.
Clyde, yes.
He's like
Father
interesting.
Time. He's our Father Time.
They were both so passionate. I said, we got to get these guys on. But I'm glad
they're so great.
you're right in their league. So I'm glad they let you come to speak to us. But
Yeah, thank you. No, we all are, because we have, this isn't for none of us. It's not a job. We don't work. We do this. This is who we are. This is how we live. This is how we create. And this is just what we do. It's not a job. So all of us here are very passionate about what we do. We want to make sure that we have the best products that make sense, that disrupt the category, and that create excitement. You know, that was honestly one of the reasons why the guys kind of got the band back together. Was there, you know, there wasn't much innovation in that category, and it was like, okay, here we go, let's go do this again. Right. So what can we do? And again, with us being understanding how avocados work, what can we create that is on trend, that makes sense, that's easy for consumers, that they didn't realize that they need until right now.
That's fun. And you know, with something that's so good for people and so delicious, you know, we're all avocado freaks here. So
oh yeah, me too.
I'm sure I eat more than 11 pounds a year. Is that 11 pounds a year? Is that the consumption level?
Yeah.
Could be a month.
And it's by next year it's going to be like 11 pounds. I mean, it's nuts. I mean, people, you know, they put it on everything. And the day parts now, it's not just a dip. I mean, again, breakfast, I mean, avocado toast, that's a huge new day part. And people have always used it on salads at lunch, or top their soups or sandwiches, or use it instead of mayo. And then of course at night, taco night, or just have it, you know.
How about the ice cream? You've neglected the most important food group.
I know, we did. It was funny. We have a recipe using the avocado with cocoa, and it makes delicious ice cream. Very, very good ice cream.
I made one with a mousse, but I used sweet potato as well as the avocado.
Nice.
And but I saw your recipe for the ice cream. I'm like, oh, that'll be good.
Oh yeah. It's very, very good. I love those taste testing days.
Right. Well, Cynthia's,
what are we making today?
Yeah, Cynthia's chocolate pudding with avocado and sweet potato is fantastic. Just a touch of maple syrup, right?
Yes.
It's very little, you know, well, maple syrup, I guess, is processed, but very little sugar other than from the natural sugars of the sweet potato. So it's really good. Delicious.
Right. Well, good.
Yeah. Well, you've talked about some of the how many different avocado products do you have, and what are some others that we haven't heard? We heard about the cream cheese. We've heard about the soon to come.
Yes, avocado egg. Yes, we have our avocado with cream cheese, and those dips, the flavors there are just your, think about your traditional cream cheese dips, right? With spinach, artichoke, and all of that. And my favorite one is our jalapeno popper with a little bit of bacon flavor and the jalapeno. That's my absolute favorite. Yeah. And we did that just to, again, our focus is better for you food options. And so what we did with that is you take out about half of the cream cheese and put avocado in. And, you know, you still get that great creamy mouthfeel, but you get the added benefits of having avocado in there, not all cream cheese.
Right.
And then we have the mashed, our guacamole, and then now the avocado egg.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, let's tell us briefly about the other dips. You have a couple of different quesos, I think, maybe more.
Yeah, we do. We have 2 quesos right now. We have a Blanco queso that is really good. That's probably one of my favorites. And then the traditional yellow that has a little bit more heat and a little bit more veggies in there. Mm-hmm. So those are our 2 quesos. We use great cheese, fresh veggies in that. And that's included in our set. And then, like I've mentioned, our bean dips, and they're again made with the authentic Mexican bio bean, and our tomatillo salsa. It's just a different flavor, great texture, really, really good. And we make an elote dip that is with corn, cotija.
Elote?
Elote, yes. It's a Spanish word.
Right?
E-L-O-T-E, yes.
Right,
yes, it's a traditional... Here and then Hispanic heritage, it's usually they usually like skim the corn off the cob directly, or you can actually walk around with a corn cob and they cover it with cotija cheese, cumin and some spices, chili powder and things like that. So what we did was we just made that a dip. So we used corn, cotija cheese, and spices and some peppers, and just kind of mix that up with a little bit of mayo, just to give it a creamier consistency. And it's really, really good.
Right. Very good.
Yeah.
And there was another one you mentioned,
escabeche. Yes.
Escabeche.
It's pickled. Basically, it's pickled vegetables. It's cauliflower. It's very traditional Hispanic. Right. So it's cauliflower, corn, jalapenos, and onions. And it's in a nice, yummy brine. And you use it either as you can use it as a side, you can use it as a topper. So
Are
it's
those
just
veggies finely chopped? How are they? Are they
no, they're
diced?
chunky. They're like big. They're like big pieces of cauliflower and
Okay.
like carrot coins,
Okay.
and then sliced jalapenos
Right.
and
And
onions.
that, I got to try. I did not try that at the conventions, but I really would like to try that because I love anything pickled. But that
Yeah,
sounds really
and it
good.
has the good heat, the jalapeno heat. So it's like a jalapeno brine, but not
Yeah.
too spicy. It's not crazy spicy.
Right.
And then we have, and then those items are inside there. So
Yeah. Can't make it too spicy for me.
yeah, me either. But I have to, as I get older, my body's like, yeah, you don't need to have that much spice anymore.
Well,
you
most
need
people,
to, you need to tone it down.
most people don't like it too spicy, so you got to be.
Yeah.
You can always, I can always spice it up on my own, but that's good.
So there's multiple retailers across the country, like here in our Albertsons locally, we have the Yo Quiero brand in the circle tubs. Over in the deli, and then the produce department has our salsas, our guacamole over on by their fresh cut side. So honestly, for us, we love that. Number one, we've got products in two places in the store, but the stores like it as well because it helps fit their sets.
Right.
Like that fresh cut set doesn't necessarily look as good over in deli because they're big and branded and round. But those fresh cut containers, the squares, look perfect over in produce with the, I am a huge shopper in that department because time and I think it's increased consumption. If it's easy, like I hate chopping onions. So having those fresh cut onions, it drives my husband nuts. He's like, you spent that. I'm like, I don't care. I don't chop onions. So I know that it's increased consumption and I love that because in the produce industry, really at the end of the day, that's all that we want. We want to increase consumption. We want the ideology of food as medicine, to eat better, to feel better. And again, that's why we go back to our labels. We want them as clean as possible because we want people to feel good on the inside and out when they eat our products and not have to look for fillers and weird things that are on the ingredient statement.
Right.
And so we want to be that good partner for consumers and retailers to have those items available.
Right. Well, that was another motivation for Teresa and us to start this podcast, was that we felt like, we really wanted to do something to get people to encourage people to eat more healthy and sort of mitigate the health crisis as much as we could. When you read that only 12 to 15% of adults in the United States eat the recommended amount of veggies every day, that just blows my mind. I cannot believe it. And people know that they should get 5 servings a day or more, but they still don't do it. But this pre-cut is helping that, I think. So.
Yeah, and you think too that so many of the health issues could be regulated better with better diets. And I think unfortunately some food deserts that are out there in some underserved communities doesn't help with that. And I know that was a strong topic of discussion when the IFPA was in Washington in September. Is how can we get more fresh produce to these underserved areas to help with that, and also increasing the benefits on SNAP. That's huge.
Yeah.
And I work with a lot of our smaller retail companies on what can we do to help and just brainstorm. Is it again, is it displays in the store, whatever that is, and really encourage that consumption.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's where I go back to, that fresh cut section in the produce department. What I love is you get those containers that have all the different peppers that are in there, or it's they use it mainly for grilling. Like if you're going to do some type of stir fry, with the different various vegetables that are there. And I like that they do that. So it allows for that variety and allows for more fruits or more vegetables to be consumed, because my husband and I, being empty nesters, on Sunday, I go to the store and buy broccoli, cucumbers, peppers, and I cut them up and we eat them fresh. Now I do make a homemade, do eat it with guacamole. So I will, I do dip them in a little something. But I mean, that's really, and then, some type of lean protein. But, and I think as we get older to really start focusing on some of that right now, I think is huge. But yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. It is that variety and really continuing to consume it and trying to not have it be the same ones over and over again. I find that with myself, I get the same veggies and I'm like, okay, well, today I need to really kind of get some zucchini, maybe stir that up with a little olive oil, to also expand my horizons on the veggie front. Cause I get a routine as well.
Yeah, that's I do that as well. I try to expand as much as I can, but it's easy to get in a rut.
Yeah, it is.
And again,
It is.
and a
We're
lot of
so
times
busy.
that's it. It's a time thing. It is. So
Yeah.
so where can our listeners find your products? All over the country, I assume, but can you give
Yeah, if they can't find our branded items, they can look over in the produce department and look for our fresh cut containers. They're not Yo Quiero branded, they're Fresh Innovations branded. So you'll see kind of the sticker on there. But yeah, and we're gaining more traction branding wise. And we really think that our new egg product will help on the branding side as well. So yeah, we're East Coast, of course, down here in the Texas and the what we call the smile of the United States. We're pretty prevalent. But yeah, up and down the East Coast and going through the middle of the country with the AWG distributor,
what about the Southeast? Are you down here?
That's a tough nut to crack.
I know.
We love that one particular retailer that we all know, but they're very loyal to who they have. And we so appreciate that and love that about that particular retailer. So we're working on it. We're working on it.
We're kind of in purgatory, like we're the southernmost state, and I swear we're just different.
Yeah, you are, but well taken care of though.
And dominated.
That's there. Yeah.
Dominated by that chain as well.
Yes.
They're always voted number one.
I know, but they're losing traction in a lot of key areas, and like just maybe it doesn't show up on the numbers yet, but like if I just can't get something, or that department that we all know is just looking a little tired, then it's kind of like.
Well, depending upon where you are, we are in Fresh Market. We have a couple of SKUs in the Fresh Market. Yeah.
Great. They're based here in North Carolina, as you know. So,
I do. That's right.
Of course you do. Yeah. So, well, if they can't get them if they go to the store, they don't see them. What should the listeners do? How would
they need to go to their produce manager and go, Yo Quiero, Yo Quiero.
No, Taco Bell is down the street.
No, that just hurts my stomach. That's the best that we can do. We also have on our website on YoQuieroBrands.com, we have a thing where it says, hey, what retailer would you like? And we compile that and send it to the retailers. Or if I get a request, I send it to our sales guys, because we've got Jay and those guys have connections everywhere. It's a matter of some of those retailers that we know so well, including the one in Florida, making room or being so loyal to who they have, which again, we totally and completely appreciate that.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of literally talking to your producer, your store manager, and sending us notifications, and we do the best that we can, because Jay's talking to those individuals constantly. You're like, hey,
are you in Sprouts?
We're just getting into Sprouts, yes, with our fresh cut items. Yes, we are. So I think there's a line of 8 or 9 in Sprouts, so it's going to be great.
So the retailer who shall not be named, they do have product that I just kind of blow by, because when I'm looking at your ingredients, I don't think they're as perfectly put. They're as clean, and so that's why I would never even consider it. That's not just like I'd rather eat some processed food in another decadent category. Right. But like with an avocado, I would have never. But I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah.
What did you mean by what's not as clean? The store brands or what?
No, negative. So I'm looking at the mashed avocado. Yes. Right. And when you go down to the nutritional facts, and it says ingredients, 100% real Hass avocado. So the reason that I would not even go to look at the ones that are adjacent in the deli department is they wouldn't be a 1 ingredient label. And so, I'm going to eat something totally fun.
So you already have
processed food.
Yeah, this is actually a good question I didn't think of till now, but I guess Cynthia's actually asking it, but there is this perception by people who do eat healthy that anything packaged is going to have all kinds of words that ingredients.
Oh,
that
I'm the
they can't
worst. I'm
pronounce.
the worst.
So how do you see that as a problem? And if so, how are you battling that?
Well, totally for all of our products, we really encourage people to look at our label and then walk down the chip aisle and look at that stuff that's on the chip aisle, right? And to continually shop in the perimeter of the store, which is where we are, as we know, that's the perception and honestly where the healthier options are in a grocery store. And when it comes to our avocado products, we do encourage to look at the ingredient statement. But we also encourage people that, instead of going over and buying a fresh avocado, which we know is usually never completely ripe or perfectly ripe, and then it's ripe for that perfect, beautiful minute when you eat a perfectly ripe avocado, it's like nirvana, right? I mean, it's the best thing you could ever eat. Yeah. But then like 5 minutes later, it's bad. And so what we do is we encourage is that, that's all we have. That's all that it is. And so, rather than guessing or spending your money trying to guess the complete always, our always thing is always ripe, always ready. So, rather than guessing and spending that money on that fresh avocado, you can just go and open ours and find that same exact deliciousness in our container, perfect and ripe all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, and if it's not mashed, and the fresh avocado is not mashed by the customers who came before you, sometimes you get it home and you open it and there's lots of brown spots inside and everything. So
exactly,
you can see right through your package and tell that that's not the case, right? So that's
exactly. And then not that a fresh avocado is like a banana, right? You have the skin, so you're usually good on the food safety side, but for us too, you have the guarantee of the high pressure technology. It's vacuum sealed, all of that as well. So it's kind of an extra little bump of food safety on there too.
Yep, got it. Okay, very good.
And for our products, is all of that safety stuff is done on the front end, but when you peel the film off and you stir it up and eat it and put it back in your fridge, it oxidizes like a fresh avocado. So you still have to eat it within 3 to 5 days. So that just helps with some of the shelf life on the front end, so we can get it distributed and put it on the store shelf. But again, when you open it, it oxidizes.
Right.
It's so very fresh.
And I love that you don't have anything in there to keep it from oxidizing.
Yeah.
That, I'd like to say to our listeners too that, when an avocado oxidizes, it doesn't ruin it, so it doesn't look as good. You get that brown, but that's not going to hurt you to eat it. Even if you don't want to eat it, you can just scrape the top off. Avocado gets a little brown. It won't hurt you to eat it. You can I just mix it up. Now, I'm not saying you don't, maybe if that grosses you out, don't do it, but I just mix it up and it usually is fine. So
put some heat in there and it'll.
But you know what? The Yo Quiero brand, it won't last long enough to oxidize. It's too good. So
exactly.
Okay. Well, it's been a delight. Such a pleasure to have you. Now
it's been so great.
We have a segment on the Produce Buzzers podcast. Usually, I'm going to ask Teresa if she's ready.
I do have something.
Okay, we have a segment on the podcast called Homegrown. Teresa loves her puns. So she always brings a pun to tell us in the podcast, and we groan at it. Hence homegrown, because they're always bad. We don't laugh. You can't laugh. You got to groan. But anyway, it's usually in the form of a question, and we try to guess it. We try to guess what the pun is going to be. So she will tell us the pun, and then I'll repeat it, and we'll give you a little time to think about it, and we can see if you can guess it. We'll try to guess too, Rick, Cynthia, and I. So, okay. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce it. Now, Produce Buzzers podcast fans, it's time for your favorite segment on the Produce Buzzers podcast. Yes, it's time for Homegrown. Yes, no, wait, don't run away. Don't push the pause button. Keep your speakers up. You got to listen. You got to stay and be punished by Teresa. Teresa, what's the homegrown?
Okay. What did the egg say to the avocado that started a fight?
Well, that's perfect question for today. Okay, what did the egg say to the avocado that started a fight? Rick, you're always good at guessing these. What?
Oh boy. Let me have a little more time.
Okay, Cynthia, come on. You
Did
got
you
a guess?
yoke off me?
I got nothing either.
I was thinking the egg says to the avocado, "You always think you are extra."
That's good. Actually. Okay, Teresa, I guess none of us got it right, huh? So
Okay.
you're going to tell us. All right.
All right. So what did the egg say to the avocado that started a fight? You are pitiful.
I told you, Tara. I gave you a warning. I'm sorry we made you.
That was good. I'm going to reuse that, Teresa.
Okay.
So, Tara, one more question. Have you
Yes.
eaten this ice cream?
I have.
And does it,
It's a little thin. It's a little thin because it's not dairy. It's
Okay.
more, it probably has the consistency more of a sorbet,
okay,
but it's good.
but it still can roll like a,
I would just make sure it's really frozen. Keep it in there a little long if you want it to roll.
mhm.
But yeah,
I got it. Is that you? Are you distributing that now?
no.
not yet.
It's just one of our fun.
Oh, it's a
fun
recipe.
Yeah,
Okay,
to use with
got
our
it.
mashed avocado.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. I forgot to ask you about the recipes.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
Oh,
wonderful.
there's one that looks really good to me. Well, of course, the ice cream,
We've got
but
quite a few
the
recipes on there.
savory egg waffles. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Savory egg waffles.
Mhm.
So
And-
instead of doing a waffle batter, you would just do like an omelet.
Mhm. And in
But
a
with-
waffle maker.
Yes.
but with avocado topping it, or what?
Yeah, you could, but this is
Whatever
just
you
like,
want.
yeah,
Right.
this was just I don't know why this was. It was about sneaking vegetables into your children. So, you'd put some peppers, spinach, broccoli.
Right. Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Any others, Tara, that are your favorites?
Oh gosh, that's like saying I have a favorite kid.
Yeah, no, that's terrible.
We try to, with our recipes, provide inventive ways to use our product, right? Because anybody
Right.
can open them up and put a dip, put a chip or a veggie in there to snack on. So we really try to do, we have some good creative ones. Like one of my favorites, actually two favorites is one, we do little individual, especially during COVID, we did little individual layered dip cups with our product. So we have a, bean, guacamole, salsa, and then you can sprinkle a little cheese on top. So it's cool in little clear cups. So you really see the layers. That's fun. We also do like gingerbread men shaped quesadillas for kids for the holidays. So you use your cookie cutters and you make your tortillas, and then you put cheese, or let them do it, right, with little cut veggies, and then you make little quesadilla men or women out of the tortillas. So
Right.
those are two of my fun favorites, just because you can really see the product and just fun usage.
Right. That's great. Yo Quiero brands.com. That's YOQUIERO. Spelled that right?
You did.
Brands. Yo Quiero brands.com. Go check it out. Look at the recipes. Look at the products there and ask your retailers to bring them in.
Yes.
It's been a delight to have you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks again for having me. This has been a lot of fun. I really
Great.
appreciate it.
Great.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.
Well, thank you, listeners, for tuning in to the Produce Buzzers podcast, brought to you by Produce Buzz, the gathering place for lovers of fresh fruits and veggies. We hope you were entertained a bit and educated a lot about fresh produce. Be sure to join us next time, and please tell your friends to do so as well. Like, share, and comment on our Produce Buzz Facebook page, and check out our website at www.producebuzz.com. There you will find articles about fresh fruits and veggies, how to select, store, and prepare them, as well as lots of interesting facts about all the wonderful bounty the earth provides for us. Until Until next time, be fruitful and don't forget to veg out.